The Mavericks win their third straight game and in the process get revenge on the Utah Jazz. How they did it, we break it all down here on the DLS Mavs postgame show. Here we go. Hey, what's up, DLS Mavs Nation? It's your man, Kevin Gray, alongside Mavericks beat writer Tim Cato, Mavericks analyst Bobby Carella, and our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. We are DLS Mavs, your favorite guys covering your favorite team every single game night at Kevin Gray Sports, at Tim_Cato, at Bobby Carella. You can always dial up the Stein line at the Stein line. The Mavericks win their third straight game, now a season high, 4 games above 500 as they beat the Utah Jazz 106-94, as the Mavericks have now won 7 of their last 8 games, now 5-1 on the season without Luka Doncic in the lineup. Kyrie Irving with 30 points in the win. Quentin Grimes with 24 points. PJ Washington with yet another double-double as the Mavericks win by 12 and now continue their road trip tomorrow night when they take on the Portland Trail Blazers. We're breaking all down here for you over the next hour plus. Appreciate you joining us here on DLS Sports here on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe while you are here. Also, download and subscribe to the podcast as well. All of you joining us live, really appreciate it. Make sure we shout you out throughout the course of the show. I already see Ronald, I already see Mark. I see all of y'all. I see Frank in here as well. As the Mavericks,
we see Dominican Republic, we see Manila.
Yeah, already. Let us know where you're watching from as well.
Tell us where you're watching from. We love that.
Please do that and let us know how you're feeling after the Mavericks' third straight win, gentlemen. How are we feeling?
It was a win.
It was a win.
Was it a nice one? Was it enjoyable? Was it fun to watch? Was there a very nice pass from Spencer Dinwiddie? Some of those are yes. There's maybe the funniest travel I've ever seen in my entire life from Kyrie Irving that wasn't called.
I rapidly worked my way through denial, anger, bargaining, and depression, and I'm at acceptance. It's a great win. Is it? Oh my God. Is it the best win of the season? No. Is it a top 10 win of the season? How many games have they won? 12? No. But a win is 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 a win, and they got a win, and they needed to get a win, and they got it.
I'm not sure that deserved the crack hiss.
You don't make the rules.
What's the onomatopoeia?
My rules.
For it's like a hiss.
Well, you know what deserves.
Like
I don't know what you're doing. You know what deserves mentioning though. 30% off though when it comes to our merchandise.
That's right.
For DLS Sports. Make sure you go to store allcitynetwork.com and get your merch 30% off. We've got Black Friday deals going on right now. Cyber Monday is coming up as well. Make sure you go to store.allcitynetwork.com. 30% off merch.
You're already on probation today.
Right now.
After the pre-show meeting that we're not going to talk about.
And we're also not going to talk about that Manchester
City
talking
about it like
either. We're not going to talk about that either.
Come on, Super Kev.
We're not doing
Bloodlines
that,
and etymology. I thought it was a great pregame meeting.
Yeah, I don't remember what I said that was
good.
Yeah.
Tim did say on the pregame show, speaking of being reminded of that,
about the
that if
pregame
Naji didn't have a great game, he was due and he was going to get a pass for one. And guess what, Tim? Yeah. Naji Marshall didn't play in the second half because he had an upper respiratory illness. But the Mavericks still found a way to get it done.
Ben is here. Oh, man.
Damn. That's all right. You guys still got the 30% off the entire store right now. So make sure you get your Mavs gear tonight. Again, store.allcitynetwork.com to get your gear. Black Friday, Cyber Monday coming up as well. But let's get into it, gentlemen. The Mavericks, although it didn't feel like, a great win, as Bobby said, a win is a win. The Mavericks scored 40 points in that first quarter, dropping 9 threes in that period, going 9 of 12 from downtown. It felt like it was going to be a three-party all night long. The Mavericks scored what was 40 points in the first quarter. They scored a grand total, let's count it up, of 30, 20, 50, 66 points for the remaining 3 quarters of the game.
That's why you guys are so down, and that's why the title card has revenge in quotes.
Well, the Mavericks led by as many as 20 in this game.
This looked like it was going to be a Saturday night cruise, an emphatic night of vengeance in the city of Utah. But in the end, that second quarter was ghastly.
Yeah.
Grimes had a ridiculously good night, but there was an 0 for 3 trip to the free throw line in there. I mean, it was just, this was a win. And,
yes.
And the fact that, I mean, look, they could have won by 40 and it probably wouldn't have erased the stench and sting from that first game in Utah, which we're constantly referencing, but
we're going to get a Luka injury update from Mark at the end of the show. Stay tuned for the 4th segment. This was the game where there have been moments, there have been quarters, there have been stretches where the team very, very obviously missed Luka Doncic. There's no question about that. This team misses Luka Doncic. We've been saying this whole time. But this was a game, I refuse to believe that a team that went to Utah and got embarrassed, 16 days ago, we said, so not even quite 3 weeks ago, did not come out with like the appropriate understanding, conceptions that Utah is still a NBA basketball team, one that you have to get up for, one that you have to go try. I think they did try. I think this is a team that's starting to run a little bit ragged. It's a team that definitely missed Naji Marshall, who our best guess, we'll probably hear more as Jason Kidd talks. We'll keep an eye on quotes, but respiratory, at altitude, it seems like some of that sickness maybe came back and he just wasn't able to go. This is a team that missed him. Naji Marshall, and we've all of us here have seen the people crying out, talk about Naji, and I'm hoping, I am betting, I am praying y'all aren't talking about us, because we have been. But this is a game like Naji needs to be shouted out. Everybody wants him to get his flowers because he wasn't expected to be doing all this. And he really did pave over a lot of just the absences, the exhaustion that you get when everybody is playing 1 step above their role, 2 steps above their role, because Klay Thompson has been out. Role players, depth is depth when they're depthing. And these guys have proven that they can play 1, 2, 3 steps above their spot in the rotation for a period of time now. And that is a really impressive thing from this team. But it's starting to add up in a way. And, even getting that extra day off with Thanksgiving, having 2 days off between these games, I thought it's showing. Now they got to go turn around and do it again against Portland. We'll see. Maybe it's a Luka game. But I just don't look at this game and think, to me, it was an effort. It was sloppiness. It was poor decision making. There was certainly a lot that went wrong. To me, the reason that last Utah loss, the one 16 days ago, stood out is because I didn't think that team, mentality-wise, approach-wise, had the right one. And it did seem like that was better. It just, the execution wasn't there. So I think if you're Dallas, you're pretty pleased to just come out of that with a win. I think that's an acceptable outcome. It wasn't pretty. It was ugly. There was times where, you'd rather watch anything else. You'd rather switch to something else.
Yeah.
But for Dallas to get a win there, you're going to have some ugly ones. That's fine.
Mavs used a 13-0 run to push their lead, what was, to 20 in the first quarter, Bobby, as they were up 27-20 with 3:35 left. They went on that 13-0 run to lead by 20 with 38 seconds left. It really was the first quarter that got them jumped off to a really good start. Quentin Grimes going 4 or 5 from downtown with 12 points. Kyrie Irving had 8 points. PJ Washington got off to a strong start as well, hitting 2 threes. Overall, 9 of 12 from downtown, and they were able to maintain that lead from there, although Utah was able to get close in this game as the second half went on. But, Bobby, the terrific start in the first quarter was something that they desperately needed, and to utilize the energy to really carry them throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, I mean, no lead changes, no ties outside of 0-0. When you get off to a good start, I mean, it's kind of that is a microcosm of why we always say, like, the season is, it's so important to get off to a good start in the season, not just in a game. Like, it's important to win 5 out of your first 7 or something, because you will eventually go cold a little bit. You're going to start dropping some games, and that will move you from 2nd to 5th, not from 5th to 8th, or not from 8th to 12th or whatever. The Mavs started great. I would say they shot great. I don't think they actually started the game all that well. They just kind of were hot from 3. They were 9 out of 12 from 3 in the first quarter. And whenever you go 9 out of 12 from 3, you're going to win. So they were up 20, and then they just kind of chilled the rest of the game, which is fine. Like, it's fine. They didn't mess around and lose. It got interesting for a little bit.
They also, getting off to a quick start, was infamously an issue.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I mean, look, they made a bunch of shots, and it's great. Again, like, you start hot, it means whenever you cool off, you're going to be fine.
It feels way different to be just barely protecting a lead, but still protecting it. It was never even within one shot.
Yeah, whereas in the
huge difference.
The last time they were in Utah, it was back and forth the whole game, and it's a different tenor of things. And but yeah, I mean, with no Naji, and then Kyrie was plus 17 in this game, so they were -5 without him. And he played 36 minutes, so those 12 minutes were pretty brutal. With no Naji to help carry the load, that means you get a lot of Hardy and a lot of Dinwiddie. And Dinwiddie was good again tonight as a playmaker, but Hardy was not. He had a really, really bad game, and so you're missing Naji. Hardy's giving you nothing, so whenever Kyrie's off the floor, it's going to be ugly. But I mean, again, they won, so it is what it is.
It's a box score that Quentin Grimes will not soon forget. 17 in the first half, which I believe is the most robust scoring half of his career. 24, but 1 for 6 at the line.
Whew. Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Smoked a 3-point play, missed 3 free throws.
4-point play.
Yeah, 4-point play. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Drained the 5 threes, though.
Yes. He missed a 3-pointer on a 4-point play, missed 3 free throws on a 3-point shot that he was fouled on, but still was able to have a season-high 24 points in this game. As we got into the second quarter, the Mavericks found themselves being outscored 22-10 in the first 10 minutes of that period as the Jazz were able to cut the lead down to 6 with 2 minutes left. Mavericks still were able to maintain a lead at 56-49 at halftime. In that first half, Kyrie Irving had 14 points. Him and Grimes were the only players in double figures. As Mark mentioned, Grimes had 17 points in that first half. Mavericks shot 50% from 3 and 43.5% overall from the field. Walker Kessler helped keep them in it with 14 points and 9 rebounds in that first half. The Jazz were able to cut it down to what was a 3-point deficit with 8 minutes left in that third quarter, but the Mavericks were able to respond. They went on a 13-6 run to lead by 10 with 2.5 minutes left in that third quarter. Kyrie Irving had 9 points. PJ Washington had another 8 points, going 4-6 from the field. The Mavericks were able to pretty much maintain their lead from there. The Jazz cut it down to 5 with 7.5 minutes left in the game. But again, the Mavericks were able to respond and be able to get it back up to 10 with 6 minutes left. And it really didn't feel like the game was much in doubt. The Jazz didn't shoot the
Actually, let me stop down there.
Yeah.
Did at any point during the game, did you guys feel like Dallas was going to lose?
Yeah.
When?
I mean,
like, what was the latest?
I felt
in
like
the game?
they could. It was in the after halftime. It got down to like 63-60 or something, and it was like, man, this is just there. It was a lot of the same stuff that happened the last time they were in Utah.
I didn't
Missed
feel
box
by
outs
the second half that they were going to lose.
Dude, in the like the
I mean,
first
like I said, in the third quarter they cut down to
quarter.
3.
Yeah, it was a
with
1
8 minutes left in that third.
It was down to a 1 shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, and
I didn't.
it was
I didn't
trending
feel
in
like
a
that.
very, very
Colin Sexton had some pro Mavs contributions to help turn things. He might be in the turning point segment.
I'll say by the fourth quarter. At no point in the fourth quarter.
that's different.
The first few minutes were bad, very rocky without Kyrie out there. The non-Kyrie lineup was not producing. Did they produce a single good shot? I think
No.
you said they did not, and I think
bad.
you're right. But once Kyrie came back in, and of course everybody knew Kyrie was coming back in, it felt like the game was enough under control.
Yeah,
and
and
again,
in the NBA, if you're under control for the fourth quarter, that's an easy win.
yeah, and again, this is a team that wants to be a title contender against the third worst team in the NBA. This is not like some huge compliment to say that. It's just saying it is a difference, obviously, than what happened 16 days ago.
Friends, Saturday night party. Make Super Kev happy, please. If you haven't already, can we get a like? Just a little click of that like, a little click of that like button, so Super Kev will be happy. We're zooming towards 400 guests on this wild, as guaranteed, wild Saturday night post game show. That's
And
all.
guaranteed win.
That's all Super Kev. Is
Guaranteed
looking for.
win.
And look, they've won 7 of their last 8 games now. Season high 4 games above 500. The Mavericks, no matter how you may feel about the win, it was a professional one because they won the game. And now on the second night of a back-to-back tomorrow, look to make it 4 in a row when they take on the Portland Trailblazers. More on this game, though, as we discuss the turning point of this game. Plus, a little bit later on in the show, some updates on Luka Doncic and Klay Thompson's injury status as the Mavericks move forward. All that and more coming up next here on the Dlls Mavs postgame show. But it's game time here on the Dlls Mavs postgame show. If you like going to concerts, basketball games, football games, hockey games, college football games, you got to go to Game Time to get your tickets. Game Time picks make it easier to save more on sporting events, concerts, comedy, and theater as well. All in pricing, so you can feature the top total upfront price with no surprise fees at checkout. Plus, they got panoramic seat views as well, so you can know where you're sitting in the app before you go to your event. As I've told you before, and I'll say it again, I'm going to see my tribal chief at WrestleMania in Las Vegas in April. Got to win a Survivor Series tonight, and I'll be able to see him in April. And I was able to use Game Time to get my tickets for WrestleMania next spring. They got the lowest price guarantee, and they'll credit you 110% of the difference, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Remember, terms apply, and get create an account and redeem code DLLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Gentlemen, what time is it?
Game time.
Get ready for the season ahead with Shady Rays. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. They have hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair that match your style. They probably even have a style in your favorite team's colors, maybe even your favorite podcast network's colors. What is our colors?
Green.
Blue? Green? Yeah. Well, exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code DLLS for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Speaking of the number 300, well over 300 people watching us right now. If you're
I
here,
said 300,000.
Well, I know, but you used the number 300. Just go with it, Tim. Just go with it.
Like button. Like button. Remember,
hit the like
hit
button.
the
but
like
also,
button for Super
I
Kev.
wanted to make sure you weren't underselling how many people love Shady Rays.
That's very true. That's very true. But also, subscribe while you're here. We're less than 100 away from reaching 11,000 subscribers. So if you're here, if you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified when all of our pregame shows, postgame shows, and all of our podcasts with the Cowboys, Rangers, Stars, and Mavericks as well. So you can join us here in the DLLS Sports family. Speaking of the family, let's go to Vince with the super chat. That would be the $7.
Let's go, Vince.
77-cent super chat going full Luka Doncic on us. This feels like an NBA 2K simulated game win.
You're not wrong.
I don't think you're wrong, Vince. I like that.
Good.
That's a good call there.
And you're looking at the box score and it's like, okay, good game from Quentin Grimes. 1 of 6 from the free throw line. How'd that happen? and you're kind of looking around some more and it's like, okay, Derek Lively, pretty good. 6 of 6 with 12 rebounds from Daniel Gafford. 2 of 9 from Spencer Dinwiddie, but he had 10 assists.
You know what to do, Tanner. You know what to do.
This is bringing me back to my 2K franchise days. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've played any, but you're 100% right. It really does feel like this.
As the self-anointed keeper of the all-lefty team for the entire NBA, something that truly means a lot to me, what I'm going to take away from this game, what I'm going to remember is the very delicious Spencer Dinwiddie lefty bounce pass in traffic to Kyrie Irving under the hoop, who caught it and finished with his left hand. And there was never a doubt that layup was going down.
It was a great one.
That was a beautiful combination and something redeemable to take away from this beyond just where it ended up in the
Gafford
win
hit
column.
Kyrie with like a kind of a lob laser beam pass, and I want to say Kyrie flipped it reverse lefty too in midair.
He wants to be on the all lefty
nice.
team.
Yeah,
I mean, we've known that since he made the shot against Denver.
Yeah.
Good night. They were going to stop calling until I answered the phone.
Yeah. Dad's got a dad.
Love you,
You know, it's kind of
Pumpkin.
like
I gotta go. Okay.
it's not dad. Dad's only dad until he's daddy.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that's a famous thing that we say on this
Super
show.
Kev, did you get a like?
I got a good night from my oh my God, from my daughter.
That's even better. That's even better than a
They
like.
weren't gonna stop calling until I answered the phone.
Yeah,
But hey, that's what we can do on the podcast.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Couldn't do that on the radio last year.
I actually did do it on the radio once.
Yeah, that's fine.
It
Nothing
was
wrong
my
with that.
radio show. I could do whatever I wanted at the
Oh!
Oh,
My
flex.
name was on the radio show, so I could do it.
Flex.
You flex all the time when it comes to where your downtown apartment or wherever you live at.
And stories
I
I
don't
wrote
know
that
where
I
I
loved
live.
reading.
No, that's not flexing. That is me sharing things that were interesting to me that I think might be interesting to other people.
Okay.
This is what happens when the Mavericks
I'm looking
beat
out
the
for my
Utah
friends.
Jazz 106-94. But let's talk about the turning point of this game.
No, let's talk one more second about that pass. That was a really good pass. Bobby, do I have permission to say one thing that you said about that pass?
I don't know. Yeah, I trust you.
I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby, you said that is not a pass that Luka Doncic can make.
And
that is a crazy statement that I believe is true.
I believe that.
There are less than 5
well,
passes that
let
Luka
me-
can't make.
Let me say,
And there's like 700 different types of passes.
I'm not sure that Luka would think to try and make that pass. Left-handed bounce pass, like the way that Dinwiddie flipped it. I just don't think Luka's not a bounce pass guy. He's just not a bounce pass guy. He's a jump over the top, laser beam, throw it over his head guy. He's a swing it way out here, sidewinder guy.
He's a three-quarter pass guy.
He's just not a offhand. He doesn't pass with his left, and he doesn't make bounce passes.
I can't quite remember how many people. I don't remember saying. Honestly, you know what it looked like? It looked like a Jason Kidd pass. It really did.
It was an amazing pass.
You don't see a lot of people with their offhand mid dribble. Like basically, he has the ball here and then just basically turns the dribble that's coming up, the ball coming back up to his hand, turns it into the pass. You don't see, and again, I'm joking, but there are so many types of passes in the NBA, and Luka Doncic makes 95% of them. So I do think that it's worth like noting and pointing out, you know, almost as a praise to Luka. I was like, there's a pass I'm not sure I've seen him make. Honestly,
But now that Dinwiddie's done it, I guarantee you Luka
yeah.
will try and make that pass.
Hey, I was going to say, that's the thing. It's not that Luka can't make it. I don't think Luka has ever made that pass before.
I'm trying to think of the best
that's
bounce
really
pass
impressive.
that Luka Doncic has ever made in his career.
I mean,
And,
he's had like
he megs
between
guys.
his he's had between his
That's
own
true.
legs to
Yeah.
you know, one of his. This is crazy to me that it's one of his like on every highlight reel, but it was in the bubble to Maxey and it was through his own legs.
Oh, that's
It wasn't
right.
actually that
That's
complicated of a pass. That one,
You pass between your legs, it's gonna look cool.
it does.
This is
look
gonna
cool.
look cool every
But
time.
it's crazy to me that that's on every highlight reel that I've ever seen. That specific one, it was a good pass, absolutely a good pass. But yeah, I would agree that a lot of his stuff is more about the velocity, more about the angles he creates and the manipulation that he does than, you know, threading. And there's definitely bounce passes that, you know, don't yell at us.
Two turning points in this game that were really critical. One being in the first quarter. I mean, the Mavericks jumped out to what was a 40-22 lead at the end of one. We mentioned they hit 9 threes in that first quarter. Quentin Grimes would smooth off in that first period, going 4 or 5 from downtown with 12 points. The Mavericks were absolutely cooking from the three-point line, and it felt like it was going to be a fairly comfortable night for the Mavericks. But the Jazz were able to cut that deficit all the way down to 3 with 8 minutes left to end that third quarter. But the Mavericks responded in what was a big run of the game, going on a 13-6 run to lead 76-66 with 2.5 minutes left in that period. PJ Washington was critical in that period. Now PJ Washington, as you look at some of the numbers for him over his last 6-7 games, for Washington now he's got 5 straight double-doubles. He's got double-doubles in 6 of his last 7 games. He continues, guys, to be a stabilizing force for the team, obviously with no Klay Thompson, with no Luka Doncic. PJ Washington and the consistency at which he's playing with right now, the Mavericks are in this spot having won now 7 of their last 8 games because Washington has really showed up big for them, and he did so in that big third quarter where the Mavericks were able to extend that lead back to double digits and feel a little bit more comfortable going into the final stages of this game tonight.
PJ Washington is increasingly becoming this team's, oh man, what's the word? I mean, it's almost stability. It's almost a it's a momentum, it's a tempo, but he's
The word you're looking for is glue guy.
yeah.
He just does all the stuff.
You know,
He just does a lot of stuff.
Elmer's, you know?
No.
Stein's over here just no, that didn't work. That didn't work. It's a solidity, you know, it's dependability. I think is
that's a great word.
That's the word I was looking for. There is a dependability about PJ Washington at this point this season where not every game his 3-pointers are going to go down. He's been on a good run of it. But even when he's not making jump shots, you trust that he's going to find a way to impact the game on both sides of the court with, you know, scrappy scoring, with this rebounding effort, which is so noticeable, so impressive. You know, there's one time he just flew through, you know, must have started at the free throw line. It was just there grabbing another double-double. Is it 6 straight? Is that what we agreed on?
5 straight.
5 straight?
6 in his last 7 games.
Man. So, yeah, just the reliability of this guy being a glue guy, this guy being a Sean Marion, 2.0, has some differences, but really does remind you of what Marion was as a role player, to the Mavericks, to the best teams he played on.
I mean, if you look at what he did, obviously, in the playoffs last year against the Oklahoma City Thunder, we all know about the viral moment, the standing on business. But, Bobby, for him, the overall development in his game, whether it's posting up on the block, whether it's the offensive and defensive rebounding, knocking down some more threes, the versatility at which he's playing with and the different things that he's asked to do night in and night out, it feels like he's very comfortable in what this team is asking him to do and becoming that much better at it night in and night out. It feels like you can find a way to just kind of plug him in and let him go do his thing, and he's going to have an impact on the game no matter what he does in a particular night.
I agree.
You're the PJ Washington beat writer.
I'm not.
Bobby should be asking you.
He has asked me about the PJ Washington, but look,
you are the official PJ Washington correspondent on this panel.
Well, I guess if we've talked about it too, the idea of this is not something that I think you saw from him coming out of Charlotte. Like, there were nights where he could score. There was some versatility to his game. But he has developed a lot more of an all-around game where you can feel like, okay, I can plug PJ in here. Defensively, I know what I'm going to get from him. He's starting to play a little bit more offensively with the creativity as well. He's finishing in transition, slowing down a little bit when it comes to his ability to go coast to coast in transition. So this is a huge development for the Mavericks, and based on what he's doing here, they're going to continuously need this. And when you're not having Luka Doncic and Klay Thompson out there, he's a steadying force, and as Tim used the word dependability for him, it's really good to have a guy like PJ playing at the level that he's playing.
It's kind of like with Naji, the knife has been handed the ball so much more than he would have been because Luka's out. There's a little bit of that happening with PJ as well, where they're playing through him more probably than they would have normally because Luka's not out there and because Kyrie likes to be off the ball so much. So as with Naji Marshall, PJ's gotten a chance in this stretch without Luka to show us a lot of stuff that maybe last season, even in the second half of last season, didn't really have a chance to show us.
I think like the one good thing, the best thing, I'll say that, about PJ's stretch is that it validates the take from before the season that I had on this very podcast saying he's the most irreplaceable player on the team. And that is on a team featuring Luka and Kyrie, two of the best players of all time. The Mavs have been really good this year they're 5-1 now in the games Luka hasn't played in. I don't know how many games Kyrie's missed. I know one of them was Utah, which we won't talk about ever again. Now that they won.
The only one he's missed.
Well, never mind. So maybe Kyrie is the most irreplaceable. But, they're winning without Klay. They've won some games without Gafford. They've won some games without Lively. They've won some games with the whole team having an illness. You know who they have not won a game without this year? PJ Washington.
Yeah.
Maybe they won one before the losing streak started. But, he's the guy. He's the only guy on the team that can do what he does. There is nobody else that can assume all of his responsibilities. He is a 1 of 1.
1 and 4.
What?
1 and 4 without him.
1 and 4 without him.
They beat Chicago.
That is barely even a win. That's like half a win.
Doesn't count.
Yes.
Like that's it. He's the only guy. You take him off the team, now you're relying exclusively on Naji, but then that means that you have no backup wings, or it means you're relying on Maxey, and that has been an up and down adventure this season. So yeah, I mean PJ is the only guy on the team that can do what he does.
I'm gonna put it out there. 2 guys already for the Mavericks who are going to be in the most improved player category campaign this year. I'm gonna put it out there. Naji Marshall, and I'm gonna go ahead and put PJ Washington in there as well. We're a quarter of the way through the season, 20 games at this point. I'm going to start the Naji Marshall and PJ Washington most improved player campaign. Any dissenters when it comes to that?
How do you start it? What do you do? Also, PJ this year is averaging fewer points per game than he did last year.
But it feels like he's a better player.
I agree. Or is he just on a good team?
I mean, he was on a good team when he got. Well, I guess he helped make the team a lot better when he got over here last year. But it feels like he's having more of an impact on the game, even with scoring less. It feels like.
If you made me guess right now, I think PJ may be in those conversations when we get closer to the end of the year. I think Naji is going to settle into a very good role player.
Ben says, "I see that cord, Stein."
Just put the cord out there. Yeah, there you go. Just
own it, man. Own it.
What cord?
That cord. That cord. But yeah, let us know.
I'm not trying to hide it.
Let us know how you're feeling.
They say I derail the show.
Well, you do sometimes. We've got Quentin Grimes also in there in the most improved campaign as well. So put him in there. Who you feel like? PJ Washington, Naji Marshall, Quentin Grimes for most improved. We'll see how that goes throughout the rest of the year. But I just wanted to officially throw it out there for the folks who feel like maybe this. Yeah, we'll start the campaign right now. Coming up next year on the Dlls Mavs podcast. More on this game, including the tear that Spencer Dinwiddie, yes, the tear that Spencer Dinwiddie is on. Bobby Carell's got a statistic that will blow your mind about the playmaking abilities right now.
Oh, boy, I better find one.
Of Spencer Dinwiddie. It's some assisted turnover ratio, something like that.
No.
We'll talk about that coming up next year and more on the DLS Mavs postgame show.
First, the year is almost over, and there's a lot of stuff you got to do by the end of the year. It's crunch time for those business goals you set way back in January that you never thought you'd be staring down here in the final month of the year. But here you are. You have year-end goals, and Constant Contact has what it takes to help you meet them faster. No matter how experienced you are with digital marketing, Constant Contact has the tools to make your marketing run smoother, sell more, raise more, and build more genuine relationships with your audience. With Constant Contact's suite of digital marketing tools, all made to fast-track your success. You no longer need to struggle with expensive, slow, and unmeasurable approaches to marketing your business. Now tap email marketing that helps you create and send the perfect email to every customer. Own the smartphone by adding texting to your marketing strategy. Connect with over 2 billion people on social media with an all-in-one tool for posting and sharing, and sell more online in less time with Constant Contact's powerful e-commerce tools. Get all the automation, integration, and reporting tools that get your marketing to running seamlessly. Join the thousands of business and millions of people who trust Constant Contact with their marketing success. Time to put the go in your 2024 business goals with email, social, SMS, and customized marketing campaigns built for you in just a few clicks. Ready, set, go to ConstantContact.com/allcity. Start your free trial today. Go to ConstantContact.com/allcity for your free trial.
Let me talk to you about Saturday Neon real quick, started by 2 college friends. Saturday Neon makes officially licensed logo LED neon signs, perfect for your home, office, dorm room, fan cave, or bar. You can check out their new Essentials collection featuring almost 50 of the biggest schools across the country and counting for only $75. They got Texas Longhorns, Texas A&M, Texas State, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State signs as well. So unlike traditional neon signs, these LED signs won't break or shatter, but still give you that classic uniform glow that you know and love. So make sure that you head over to SaturdayNeon.com and use code DLLS for 10% off your favorite sign. It's the perfect gift for this upcoming holiday season. If you're a Texas Longhorn fan, you can definitely celebrate because they're on the way to the SEC title game. Again, head over to SaturdayNeon.com and use code DLLS for 10% off your favorite sign today. Mavericks beat the Utah Jazz 106-94. They are now a season high 4 games above 500 at 12-8, are in the middle of playing 4 of 5 games on the road, with their only home game coming in that span when they take on the Memphis Grizzlies in their final NBA Cup game. Marc Stein. on Tuesday. But
We should talk about that.
we're not going to talk about that.
Fired
Mark.
up for that one?
No, we're not
No, I
talking
want to know if you guys are. You guys know I'm not. I want to know.
Whatever. It's a
I'm
game,
kind of
excited.
intrigued.
your segment's coming up in 10 minutes.
No,
We'll-
but that segment's not about. That's not about the cup. This is a good time to talk about the cup.
No, we're not talking about the cup. We're not doing it. Can't do it.
I'm mildly. The scenarios are not as simple as
I
Dallas
just wanna
wins and
see
they're
what
in.
Mark-
Why is this such a bad? It's a good topic.
Let's talk about it after they beat Portland by
I
30
want
tomorrow
to
night.
That's right. Exactly.
No. I want to see on Tuesday if it does feel, even to us watching, just slightly different because it's basically winning you're in, losing you're out for Dallas.
Yeah, they
There's
need a wild card spot to get in.
But if they win, barring some huge point differentials,
Correct.
as far as I can tell, because I'm still like I read the rules like 3 times and I feel like I'm still missing something.
You read it
I
just as much
understood
as
them.
Mark has at this point.
No, I understood them, but I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like there's some trick they're
No,
going to play
actually,
on me.
I'm making a public plea now to my friend Tim Reynolds of the Associated Press, who is fantastic at Tim Reynolds. I need a full leading into Tuesday, a very comprehensive Tim Reynolds-esque article that explains all the permutations because I'm still not ready to try to do the math on this. Just tell me who the 8 quarterfinalists are.
As the Mavericks win on Tuesday against Memphis, they are pretty much assured a wild card spot.
You know what? But look, we saw this last night, and I mean, you guys know I bash this thing every chance I get. But then, we saw what happened with Cleveland losing and Boston coming back to beat Chicago, and Trae Young's like, "Thank you, Celtics." So if the players care, for whatever the reason is, that is a good thing. So it will be interesting to see, not just for the public, but just how much do the Mavs want? And I know, yes, there is a game tomorrow night in Portland, and it could be a difficult one depending on who's available. But Tuesday night, Memphis only has one NBA Cup win in its history, and it was the last game they played
Oh, so they just got
against
it.
the banged up Pelicans. Yes.
Yes, they just got it.
So the Mavs are one home win away from getting to the quarterfinals. And then, like I said, if the Mavs can get to Vegas in the Final Four, now I'm all in. I will. If the
'Cause it's a
Mavs,
trip to Vegas for you.
I will be the first DLS representative to land in Vegas if that happens. So,
You're gonna get your little
what is the
NBA Cup logo
what is the
hat.
chat?
Just
What is the chat besides a flurry of likes that we're still waiting for? Besides the flurry of subscriptions we're still waiting for to get us to 11,000 to
We're
make
so
this,
close.
to make this a true Saturday night party. Let us know in the chat how important Tuesday night's NBA Cup home game against the Grizzlies of Memphis is to you.
John says, and I quote, "Nobody gives a damn about the in-season tournament."
Oh no! So we just got a super chat from Vince. We just got a big super chat from Vince.
What?
How much?
Whoa!
11 buckaroos, 11.25. 11.25. That's my mom's birthday.
Okay, wait a minute. Time out. Why? What is 11.25?
$11.25.
I get that, but that's Kyrie. That's Kyrie and
Kyrie and Vince Carter, probably. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know if they were going for the whole Mavs number.
Wait, should we
thing.
read it? Would you like me to read it?
Yeah.
Mark
Also-
should read. No, it's for Mark. Mark should read it.
You think I can?
I don't know
read?
if Mark can.
Let's
Oh,
see.
okay.
Oh, wait. Maybe on this
Give it a
screen.
shot, Mark. Give it a
Maybe
shot.
on this screen. I can't read it on that screen.
Just someone read it for Mark.
Okay,
This is an
and
audio
Mark,
podcast.
would you be happy if Dallas is the first team to win the double, the NBA Cup and the NBA championship?
To win the double. That's good.
The domestic double.
The NBA Daily
I mean,
Double,
I won't-
an NBA
I-
Cup and NBA championship.
It won't. There won't be emotions, but I will definitely be using that phrasing.
And
So make sure you credit Vince when they do win the championship
Just-
and the NBA Cup.
just want to clarify how good of a joke this is for people who don't watch soccer. Winning a double, winning the triple, that is used if
Treble.
the treble.
Treble,
Thank you,
yes,
thank you. You're right. But winning the double would be winning both domestic cup and the domestic league in soccer. If you also win the Champions League, that's the treble.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What's the quadruple?
is that just in England? If you
Having
do
the
Carabao
most
Cup,
fun.
it's just the Carabao Cup, right?
There's a League Cup, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Spencer Dinwiddie because Spencer Dinwiddie has been playing very well, Bobby Carella, as of late. In fact, Spencer Dinwiddie.
Wait, did we read Ardell's real quick? Well,
Well,
Ardell.
he's talking about Spencer
He's
Dinwiddie.
talking about Spencer Dinwiddie, so it's on time with the
Shout
$2.
out Ardell.
Yeah,
$2.
our bad on being late on that, but we have read it now.
Not all passes are created equally, and I
We
think
read all super chats.
he's referring to Spencer Dinwiddie, who had 10 assists tonight. Bobby, he has been a playmaking machine as of late, and especially when you start looking at some of the numbers and what he's been putting up as of late.
Yeah, so his 2 biggest assist games have come in the last 2 games. He got 10 assists tonight. First, Mark actually guessed this, which I was in shock by. But
Completely a luck. I deserve no credit. It was
no,
a complete
you deserve a
lucky
lot
guess.
of credit because
It was a complete luck.
I said, who was the last Mavs reserve?
Don't give it away.
I'm
Put
not.
it in
I'm
the
not.
chat.
I'm not.
We'll see who gets it in the chat. Ask it, and we'll see who gets it.
Who
in
was
the
the last before tonight? Who was the last Mavs backup, the last Mavs sub to dish out at least 10 assists in a game? Just think about it.
Well,
if you cheat, then
Hey,
And
wait,
don't
we
do
have-
not
we-
look it up.
and I'll know if you cheat
We have
because if
4
you get it
minutes,
right,
we have 4
you'll
minutes.
cheat it.
We'll say it at the end of the segment.
Yeah, I'll say it at
You
the
have
end of
about
the
4
segment,
minutes
yeah.
to
So
make
drop
guesses.
your
I am
guesses
looking
before
I
the
am
next
watching
before the
you.
next round of brilliant
watching y'all.
reads, we'll reveal the answer.
I
Well, there's only one read
apologize
left,
for
and it's
folks
gonna
who
be
listening
brilliant.
to the podcast because y'all probably didn't understand a single word that Joseph said just now. So appreciate you bearing with us through that particular portion of the program.
So
as you were saying, Bobby.
Yeah, so Dinwiddie has been a big playmaker. You know, obviously with Naji played in the Knicks game, but he didn't really play tonight. Kyrie's been playing, but Luka's been out. Dante Exum obviously out. Hardy is, I thought he was kind of rounding the corner as a playmaker, and that just kind of hasn't really held, at this point. And so this is a team that needs playmaking, and Dinwiddie has been stepping up in that regard. His last 5 games, 34 assists and just 4 turnovers. That's an 8.5-1.
That's Tyus Jones
assist to turnover.
territory.
Yeah. I mean, it's bonkers numbers tonight. 10 assists and 1 turnover. And tonight, ball security was really rare, actually, because here are the other players off the bench in this game. Maxi Kleba, 2 turnovers. That dude doesn't even dribble. He turned it over twice. Daniel Gafford, 2 turnovers. Jaden Hardy, 3 turnovers, 1 of 7 shooting. So those 3 guys combined for 7 turnovers. Dinwiddie is like the only, and again, we're 1 week away from you guys. Well, I'm include Mark in this, from Kevin specifically making us famous with regards to Dinwiddie. And now he's like the only player off the bench that I feel comfortable giving the ball to, like further than 1 foot away from the rim.
Can you
Like,
say that again
and
on
he's
the
setting
record?
the table. I just said I'm not repeating myself. I don't like repeating myself.
No, Spence has been great for the Mavericks. And go to storeallcitynetwork.com to get your 30% off.
I'm about to do a whole read about that. We don't.
Can I read some guesses?
Mm-hmm.
There's been some good ones. JJ Barea, Dante Exum, Rondo. Rondo started. That's sorry.
Unfortunately.
Luke. Unfortunately, that Rondo was a starter.
Did I see a Theo Pinson guess?
Theo
in there?
Pinson was the best guess.
That's a good one.
and it's funny because he did have 10 assists. He had a triple double. He started that game.
Triple double with no
Theo
turnovers.
Pinson
by the
was
way.
a great guess. Campazzo was a pretty good guess.
Ooh, that is a good guess.
Someone did guess Dinwiddie, and that was a very was actually the first guess.
Seeing some Trey Burks on here.
Trey Burke,
Oh,
Dwight
Mavericks
Powell.
legend. Trey
I was
Burke.
actually
How
going to
about
guess Derek Lively, and
Brunson is a great guess. Brunson is the second most recent sub.
Chandler Parsons is
Edition.
Chandler Parsons was
from
a starter.
Ardell.
Oh, that is a great guess.
All right,
The
You
correct answer, December 27th, 2021, in a game against the Blazers, it was Josh Green.
that's why he's wearing the shirt.
10 assists off the bench. The
Wow.
Mavs went up to Portland and thumped those guys, and Green played a lot. He had 10 assists off the bench. I believe that's still his career high.
Like I
Wait,
said- like I said-
Andrew Crosswhite. His comment just came in, but I think I think it was ahead of the delay. Now, I don't think it was when Luka and Kyrie.
It was not. It was in 2021.
Yeah,
but
Josh Green was starting,
It was Josh Green.
But it was Josh Green. Andrew, you were the winner. The lag saved you.
Congrats, Andrew. Great job. There were some wild guesses here. We said the Theo Pinson one. Did I just
Theo
see
Pinson was really good. Good job, Ben.
a Rodrigue Bravois reference?
Roddy
in there?
B.
Somebody had Jason Terry. There were other guesses in there. But yes, ever since I called out Spencer Dinwiddie, he has been him-witty, if you don't mind. But yeah, he's been great. Look, he has been playing well. The playmaking.
Do you think he's playing well because you called him out?
I think so. Yeah, I'm going to take credit for that. I'm going to take credit for that. I'm just going to pat myself on the back. I'm going to take that one. I appreciate that.
Maybe Tim should ask him at the next press conference.
He probably has no idea who I am at this point, but it's fine.
You hate Kevin Gray, Spencer?
No, why would he hate him?
Oh.
Kevin Gray inspired him to play better.
Did you watch what Super Kevin Gray said, and how did that impact your subsequent performance?
You know, it's funny enough. Probably in today's NBA, he probably did get wind of what I probably said, and probably was like, I don't want to talk to that dude ever at all. But it doesn't matter.
Or honestly, Spencer's probably like, he's right. I shot like butt last night. I'll do better tomorrow.
And guess
And
what?
he did.
He has done.
Although he shot poorly again tonight. Don't do it again.
But hey, he dished out 10 assists. Everybody else shot well off of his pass. So that's all that matters. As the Mavericks win 106-94. Coming up next year, you don't want to miss our next segment. It is the Stein Line with our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. He's got updates on Luka Doncic and Klay Thompson as well, as we continue to answer your super chats, your thoughts, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button while you're here so we can get that much closer to 11,000 subs here on DLLS Sports. But all that coming up next year on the DLLS Mavs postgame show.
But first, two things. I want to shout out the diehards that have signed up since Thanksgiving. Shout out to, let's see, where do I start this? Shout out to William. Shout out to our guy Ronald, who's always in the chat. Shout out Ronald. Shout out Derek, Mike, Zach, Kirk, Eric, and Dylan. Shout out to all of y'all for becoming a diehard over the last couple days. If you want to become a diehard, go to alldls.com/diehard for less than $7 a month. You can read our entire website. You can join the DLS Discord server. You get a free shirt when you sign up, and you get a discount on all future merch purchases. Like this one? And speaking of merch, it's Black Friday. Going into Cyber Monday, it's a big weekend for us here at All City and at DLLS Sports. So if you scan the QR code, if you click the link in the description below, or if you just go to store.allcitynetwork.com, and then you can find DLLS stuff from there, or you can shop for stuff from Denver. Heck, I don't care. It's 30% off the entire store. Some items are up to 75% off. How about that? And we rolled out some new stuff. So all of y'all know that we have some shirts, but how about some mugs? We got some nice coffee mugs. We got some nice pint glasses for all of the things that you would drink out of a pint glass. We got some team flags, specifically college flags, although I do want it to be noted, my boss is in the chat. Ben, where's my UTD stuff? Get me some UTD stuff right now. But if you want to wear stuff like this, just the kind of the DLLS logo flag, Tim's got this nice Skyline shirt.
Mm-hmm.
How about a Luka come save the offense whenever Kyrie's not on the floor shirt? El Matador.
Is that a Matador?
That is a Matador shirt.
Oh, wow.
And more. We got more than 35 shirt designs. Again, mugs, flags. We got headwear coming soon, but in the meantime, you're looking at a one of one. You're looking at the PJ Washington of
The
hats right
IE
there.
Insiders Edition,
That's
one
right.
of one.
That is right. But those will be on the way soon. So give us a chance.
Store.allcitynetwork.com, 30% off merchandise, up to 75% off as well. Get it now. Get it while it's hot. Tag us on social media. Let us know you got it, and we'll shout you out here on the DLLS Mavs podcast as well. As we finish up here on our show this evening, we really appreciate all of you joining us here. I need 100 likes by the time we get out of here on this
We've
night.
been stuck on 21 for a bit here.
Well, it's 21.
Oh, you got to refresh.
Yeah, you got to refresh.
It doesn't live
Okay.
update.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
yeah, we're on.
Oh my God, we're at 2,000.
Am I going to love this number when I hit refresh?
By the way, we're also less than 100 subscribers away from reaching 11,000. So if you're here,
Oh,
and you're
87.
new, yeah,
I've got
exactly.
88.
So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to DLLS Sports, and like the video while you're here. And don't forget to download the podcast.
Does it amuse you how I'm like learning how to use YouTube on live on a live broadcast?
That's right. That's right.
Old man finds out, discovers new trick. Hit refresh.
Wait till you learn what Control R does.
Let's dial up the Stein line here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show with our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. The
Cord is plugged in. I'm ready for this segment.
Oh, you're ready to
He's
rock
ready
and
to
roll.
go. He's ready to cook. Of course, the Mavericks now move to 5-1 in games without Luka Doncic, as he missed his latest game with the right wrist injury. Klay Thompson missing his third straight game with the left plantar fascia injury that he is dealing with. Mavericks in the middle of a road trip that sees them play 4 of 5 games on the road, as they got a back-to-back, not only with Utah tonight, but Portland tomorrow. Let's start with 77, who has now missed his last 5 games with that wrist injury. What do we know about Luka and what's next for him as he attempts to come back from this wrist injury?
Well, look, the good news, obviously, he's on the trip. As everybody saw, he's on the bench tonight. He was officially listed as doubtful going into this game, but I really don't think there was any chance that he was going to play in this one tonight. Tomorrow, it's TBD. They're obviously flying to Portland now, very soon, if not already in the air. Quick turnaround, but it is not. I genuinely don't know yet if we're going to see him tomorrow night or not. I'm more confident we will not see Klay Thompson. I asked the question just the way you asked it to me the last time we did a show together. How concerned are the Mavs about his injury? I'm not detecting like a deep sense of concern. And, I think we saw footage of Klay this week. He's already, getting shots up, and it's not like he's immobile. But I think the reality is, with so many other guys playing well, it's given them the ability, especially with Klay, to like not rush him, But now Marshall, couldn't play the second half because he's ill. So look, tomorrow in Portland, it's too soon to know exactly what kind of complement of players we're going to see. But here's the other thing that's not an injury report thing, but like Kyrie Irving's carrying a huge load right now.
A lot of minutes.
It would really be nice if he didn't have to play both ends of a back-to-back. But if you don't know that Luka can play, you don't know that Naji can play, you already know that Klay's almost certainly going to be ruled out. Do you give Kyrie a night off and take your chances? I mean, the Blazers are really banged up too, so you might be able to get away with it in Portland, but it's too soon to give you, again, the full who's in and who's out for tomorrow. But the Mavs have a lot to think about and a lot to figure out on that front, on this plane ride, and when they get to Portland and can gauge everybody in the morning after whatever kind of sleep you can muster on a back-to-back trip like this. Because, yeah, I mean, if I put you in charge, you'd like to give Kyrie a rest here, wouldn't you?
I would. I mean, you got a game on Tuesday. That's an early tip, right?
Yeah,
on Tuesday at home.
Is it?
No, I'm sorry. It's been moved to 7:30.
It's been moved. That's right. That's right. So for those who are maybe they've never made the flight or they don't live in America or whatever, from Portland to Dallas is like 3.5, 4 hours if you get some wind behind you.
I have always said we are blessed here to have a direct flight almost anywhere, but Dallas to Portland and vice versa is pretty much the longest flight that the Mavs face.
In a conference, and it's tough. And
Portland to Boston,
it
Dallas to Boston, flight. Dallas to Portland, those flights
it's tough.
Are the long ones.
You're not coming back home tomorrow night after the game. You're staying over in Portland on Sunday. You're leaving on Monday morning, Portland time, probably 10, 11 in the morning, which is noon or 1 here. So, like, Monday doesn't exist. You're spending 4 hours of Monday on an airplane, which gets you dehydrated, which you're not eating well. You're not working out at all. You're just, like, kind of vegging out there on the plane. And you're landing here in the middle of rush hour. You're going to go home. It's going to be pitch black outside. You're going to go to bed. So your Monday is gone. There's no time for rest. There's no time for recovery. There's no time for nothing. You're actually like less healthy when you land than you were when you took off. It would be really nice if Kyrie didn't have to play.
As the season keeps going, laughter out of the producer cubicle increases with every show. Have you noticed that?
It's a little worrisome.
Like just all this,
because I always think like, did I say something bad?
I'm like
replaying
keep this show
everything I
on
said
the
in my
rails
mind.
like Tanner has to. Like, my goodness.
What was so funny, Tanner?
It's a back-to-back of basketball. They're not building the pyramids. That is very good perspective. There is perspective there for sure.
They're not going to Memphis. Where they do have a pyramid.
Memphis is coming here.
But they have a pyramid in Memphis.
Oh, we got a Bass Pro Shop here, though. The Bass Pro Shop is
it a
in
pyramid?
the pyramid. Yeah.
It's more of a rectangle.
Yeah.
The great rectangle Bass Pro Shops of Frisco,
Yeah, I mean,
Texas.
I'm not trying to say, like, oh, my God, this is so impossible to imagine.
Are we at 11,000 subscribers yet? Are we close?
No, we're close. We're 90 away. But, like, I understand.
Can we get 90 subscribes before we go off the air tonight?
I don't think so.
Do you want to do the rest of this
No, I'm
post-game
saying
show
in
by
these next
yourself?
5 minutes, can we get 90 subscribed?
I mean, it's possible. We would love to see it happen. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already.
Yeah, and like they get paid. I get it. I get it.
Please.
Trust me. They
not
get
a threat.
paid $100 gazillion to play basketball. No one cares. Go play. Go entertain me, entertainer man. Like this is my life. Like I get it, but also and this is really important. I'm not just trying to make a joke. The Mavs made it to the finals last year despite Luka being hurt the entire playoffs. And by the time Kyrie got to the finals, obviously there was other stuff going on with, between him and Boston and everything. But like Kyrie was on fumes too. Luka and Kyrie had to play 38 minutes a game for the last 3 months of the season just so that they didn't have to make the play-in. Kyrie's playing 38 minutes a game right now. It's November. The playoffs don't start for another 5 months. Like, those guys cannot play this amount of minutes without missing games. Kyrie's missed 1 game this year. They've played 20. So he's on pace to play 78 games at 36, 38 minutes a game. That is not going to get you to the finals, pal. That's not going to get you to the finals. He's 33 years old, or whatever. How old are you? I don't know.
What's the most games Kyrie's played in a regular season in his career?
Not that many.
I don't think it's anywhere near 78.
They cannot.
most of the
You
games
have
of
to
this
find time for him to not play. You have to. It just is what it is. I understand they're millionaires and no one cares. I get it. But like, if you want your team to go to the finals, then you need Kyrie to not play 38 minutes.
The update on the knife via Mike Curtis, our friend from the Morning News. Jason Kidd, quote, "Not feeling well. We're fighting that bug right now." So, like, this is only a 2-game trip, but it feels plenty long. Okay, they're not building the pyramids, but it is taxing.
Well, whatever this bug is, it has taken a toll on this team. I mean, pretty much.
Maybe it had nothing to do with being in Miami and Atlanta.
I didn't know, really, because it has gotten. It feels like most of this 7-8 guys, that are playing the most minutes. I mean, but Bob, you started to kind of allude to in terms of the pace of the schedule. We're 20 games in to the regular season, and at this rate, they're playing games literally every other day. They've got a game on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday before we figure out the fill-in games when it comes to how the NBA Cup standings and tournament will shake out.
And a lot of travel too. Like I said this on the last show, the Mavs are playing 0 stretches of 2 games in a row in the same city from November 8th until Christmas. Like they are on planes all the time. And again, like this is like the thing that goes unseen. Again, whenever you're on planes, your body does not like process stuff the way it does at ground level. You become dehydrated. When you're dehydrated, your muscles can tighten up.
But I thought we were saying what a favorable part of this schedule this was.
Strength of
At
schedule,
Utah,
yeah.
at Portland, home to Memphis, at Toronto, at Washington, or at Washington, at Toronto. I
If Dallas
can't remember what order it is.
had come out and blown out Utah, I bet Kyrie Irving could have got a lot of second half rest.
Probably
tonight.
could have, yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they played a second quarter where they got outdone in second chance points by 10. They got outscored by the bench 8-1, and they committed 5 turnovers. Otherwise, it was great.
And also to kind of finish up on that schedule part. So they have that schedule time between December 7th and December 19th. Again, that gap in the schedule is to figure out what teams are going to be playing games as the NBA Cup finishes up.
Yeah, they're going to be playing games throughout that,
Yeah,
whether they
throughout
make
the
the cup
stretch.
or not, to be clear.
But even when you don't count that break in there, think about it from December 19th through December 30th, for example. They've got games on the 21st, the 23rd, the 25th, the 27th, and 28th with a day off, and then they play December 30th, and then they play. They're playing every other day. Like the schedule.
Remember when had 2 teams they played had week breaks before they played? Does
Yeah.
Dallas has to have that later in the year?
You just
right?
mentioned Christmas.
Surely.
Are the chatters going to be with us on Christmas? Or are we going to be? Are they going to be with our families, and we're just going to be the 4 of us?
popping off. Mavs going to beat the Wolves by 30. We're gonna
Would
be
you
popping
rather hang out with
off.
your family or hang out with us?
I'd rather.
Who's
hang
a
out.
better hang?
I'm gonna be with my
Hey,
family.
Don't lie to us.
I'm gonna be.
Or
with my
if it's your family, lie to us and say it's us.
But again,
I
that
need
is
this.
the pace of the schedule that we're talking about here. Like it's not slowing down anytime soon. And Bobby, to your point, the amount of toll that Kyrie Irving and the top 4 and 5 guys are taking without Luka Doncic in the lineup. While yes, it's a favorable part of their schedule.
Fast Channel 59 alert. Fast Channel 59 alert.
Thank you very much.
Wait,
Mark.
I think I found the one.
Wait.
break.
I gotta
Go ahead.
do this off break.
Sorry.
We appreciate you joining us here.
You staying on schedule, man. I'm so proud.
I'm proud of you,
That's
Mark.
so
Exactly.
I can't refresh YouTube, but
He can't refresh YouTube, but he kept
I
us
lost track of
on
the
schedule. For those of us who are still with us on YouTube, we really appreciate it. We're practicing as we get ready to get on TV here real soon.
Hey, you did.
Yeah,
good, Kevin.
they're going to let us on TV.
At this rate, Mark might be the only one on TV because none of the three of
for
us are keeping up with it. So thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for that.
I found the only extended break outside of like All-Star break and whatever the cup ends up looking like. I literally cannot find more than 2 days on the schedule that the team has off, like 2 consecutive days off, until April 5th to April 9th.
Yeah, that is not good.
Yeah, that is the first time that I see
More than,
more
2 days
than
off.
3 consecutive days off, and I'm not sure I see 3 consecutive. They have the 17th and the 18th.
Yeah, and like
This
the
is
thing was
crazy.
with playing like for example,
just have less
Miami
back-to-backs?
played the game in Mexico City, which is a significant
right.
travel, but Miami's only played 17 games. The Mavs have played 20, and so it's not just your energy meter kind of like gets low throughout the year, and then you rest up right at the end of the year and you're fine. It's the number of games that you play, the amount of stress you put your body under, the amount of wear and tear that you collect in a short period of time. That's why, like in the NFL, they always say like Thursday games after a Sunday game are so tough because like your body's just not recovered. The Mavs are constantly right now playing games, a very rapid pace of games where guys are playing a lot of minutes. Their guys are doing a lot more than they're supposed to be doing, than they're used to do, than they're like physically preparing to do. And again, a lot of travel, and travel really does take a toll on you, even if you're flying on fancy private jets. I did see Spaceman make a comment. Do I drink a lot of water? Because I used to be a hydro homie. I do. This is sparkling water. It's not branded though, so don't show the label. I drink water all the time. I drink too much water. It's actually annoying.
From Luke, he says Denver's only played 17 games as well. Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, Denver had like 2 weeks off before the Mavs played them.
That's right. Yeah. So again, the Mavericks are doing a fantastic job by playing the amount of games that they are in the pace that they're playing them at. And look, they've won 7 of their last 8 games now. A team that kind of a bookend to what was their worst stretch of play so far this year, losing those 4 straight games, including that game against Utah on November 14th, have come back in a really big way, having won the games that they have, and doing so, a lot of it without Luka Doncic. If nothing else, you continue to buy more time to allow him to get healthy so that by the time that 77 comes back, you're going to be in a pretty decent spot. So for the Mavericks to have done what they've been able to do, despite not having Klay Thompson, despite not having Luka Doncic, you give them a lot of credit. Even what was not necessarily the most impressive win against Utah, it's hard to win in this league, and they're continuing to do that with whomever is in the lineup at this point.
Wins are wins are wins. They did not play their best game tonight. I would say that the Mavs, for if your name isn't Quentin Grimes on the first quarter or Kyrie Irving in general, pretty much like a kind of a C+ game. They were just sort of bleh. They were fine. They were passable, and they won by 12 on the road. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you take your win and you throw away everything that ever happened in the second quarter, and we never speak about it again.
And while we're on the subject of not just the schedule, but also kind of taking a quick look around the league, as most teams are at that quarter mark of the season. By the way, Bobby's Bucks are now 10-9 on the season. Giannis had a 42-point triple-double tonight in a win over the Washington Wizards, the now 2-16 Washington Wizards. But let's take a look at the Western Conference standings so far now through, like I said, for most teams, 20 games. I know we had mentioned that Denver's only at 17 games, but Oklahoma City, of course, number 1 in the West right now at 15-4. Houston, surprisingly, at 14-6. They're number 2 in the West. Memphis at 13-7, number 3 in the West. Golden State, they're at 12-7. They lost tonight to the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns getting a win
1 in a row for them
after losing 5-6 in a row, something like that for Phoenix. But Golden State at 12-7 in 4th. And guess what? Guess who is in the top 5 now in the Western Conference after 20 games?
Tell me.
Golden State Warriors.
We just literally said them. It's your Dallas Mavericks who have climbed themselves into the top 5 of the West at 12-8. Denver at 10-7 make up the top 6.
12-8 is the same as what they were last season after 20 games.
In the top 5.
We did it.
I don't know where they were. I don't know where they were seeding wise, but
I can't remember where they were seeding wise, but look, to have lost 4 straight at one point and to climb your way, what was at one point, 11th or 12th in the West, to now 5th in the matter of about a week and a half or so, pretty impressive for the Mavericks. They sit a half a game behind Golden State for, what was it?
4th and 5th. They were 4th and 5th last year at 12-8.
At 12-8, okay.
Yeah.
7 through 10. Phoenix at 11-8. The Lakers are at 11-8. They're in the 8th spot.
I'm just going to send you all my basketball reference questions from now on.
Feel free.
Because you seem to know how to use that website.
I'm
That's a
familiar
great
with,
website.
familiar with the
better.
UI and the UX.
But much better than me.
UI and the
User interface.
the Clippers
How
are
is
in
the
the
interface
9th
different
spot.
than the experience? And don't clip that.
Oh my God.
And the San Antonio Spurs are in the 10th spot. They are the last team above 500 in the West right now.
I did not hear you say Minnesota Timberwolves.
You didn't, because they are under 500 at 9-10 and currently sit in 11th in the West. Minnesota at 9-10, Sacramento at 9-11, Portland 8-12, and then of course Utah and New Orleans make up the final 2 spots.
Yeah, don't be. I just want to say, the game is tomorrow. We'll have a pregame show tomorrow, but don't be kind of like deceived about what you thought was true about Portland or whatever. They've been playing some ball lately. They have had a lot of guys out, but Jeremy Grant apparently is going to come back. Robert Williams is out. He was back and playing really well, but I don't think he's going to play. They got some guys. Anthony Simons has had some big games against the Mavs over the year. Shaden Sharp is back now. Scoot Henderson's going to play.
Shaden Sharp is so fun.
Yeah,
Just
that's a real
aesthetically,
athletic team. That's
As
the
a
kind of
basketball player.
it's the kind of team that's really annoying to play on the second night of a back-to-back because they got a bunch of dudes that are fast and that are going to run, that are going to dunk, and that are going to, big momentum guys, big confidence players.
An energetic Luka Doncic would go a long ways.
It would.
So there you are. Your Mavericks are in the top 5 of the Western Conference after 20 games. Again, impressive having won what they have done, winning 7 of their last 8 games to get themselves in that particular spot. Quick look at the East top 6 real quick. Cleveland leading the league, of course, at 17-3 on the year. Boston at 16-3. They've won 7 straight games. They've got the longest win streak right now in the association, having won 7. How about the Orlando Magic? They're 14-7 right now. They've won 5 straight. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. Are the Orlando Magic. So they're doing this without Paolo Banchero, who, of course, continues to deal with injury. The Knicks are at 11-8.
They're 10-1, by the way. They're 10 of their last 11. Their only loss was against Dallas.
Wow. So they're playing extreme.
They have beat every team they have played since Paolo went down, except for Dallas.
That's pretty impressive. The Knicks are in the 4th spot at 11-8. The Miami Heat are 9-8. They've only played 17 games.
How many away? 88?
That's right, 88.
No shot. We'll get there tomorrow.
88 subscribes in the next 2 minutes.
We'll get there tomorrow.
And Bobby's
Stop subscribing until tomorrow.
No. Keep
And then
subscribing.
tomorrow-
We're gonna end the show here to say, no, please keep subscribing. And Bobby's Bucks 6 in the East now.
Unimpressive. They played the Wizards like 6 times during this year. I don't care. Every Eastern Conference record is fake. I don't care about Eastern Conference records.
Actually, there is
They get,
something
they get to play the Hornets. They get to play the
There is
Wizards. They get
something
to play
I
the Pistons. I could go on. The Raptors. A bunch of bad teams.
Ben
Hawks?
Selheim made some sort of Cato Discord joke that went over my head, but it did make me want to bring up. Did you Markieff Morris and Marcus Morris have a Discord now? Did I see that correctly?
They found out that we
so.
launched one, and they started feeling a little nervous. They started feeling a little threatened.
Is anyone in the chat? Does anyone participate in the Markieff Morris, Marcus Morris?
I can go
Discord?
subscribe to it right now. Take a look, see what's in there.
Don't
Yeah.
unsubscribe. Don't unsubscribe. No, because if you unsubscribe, we lose it. We lose it. We lose it.
Please stay subscribed.
Unless you're
going to
make burners. Unless you're going to make burners. Yeah, but I'm saying, I said, I don't think the Bucks are going to. I think the Bucks are going to have a down year, but they're going to win 50 because the East is not good.
It just
And-
it appears it's going to be a crypto thing. I'm just going to say that from the outset, but I am apparently joining it as we speak.
Well, your agenda's not working out for you because they've won 6 straight and they're 8-2 in their last.
Yeah, they're going to win 50, but they're bad. They're a bad
But
team.
did you see Philly?
Wait,
They
hang
won
on.
one game and
It's a
they're-
sports betting Discord. Is that okay?
Don't
it's
say
for-
this on the internet.
There's a bunch. There's a
Snitches get stitches. I'm not listening to any of this.
Well, he tweeted this out. Now it's all college football stuff in here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's all college football. They're not betting on that.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Ben. Hey, Ben. Relax for a second. Our Discord versus the Morris Brothers Discord in a street fight. Do you know who they are? You might want to relax.
Yeah.
Like you might want to chill. Like do some research on the Morris twins. That's not the smoke that you want. I don't.
You
even
can
want that
join
smoke.
premium,
And I
I'm
like
not
Mark
gonna do that.
But we're about to get out of here. Any last words before we get ready for our back-to-back tomorrow night?
Yeah, 88 more subscribes.
Okay. All right. It's time.
Come
to
on,
go.
guys.
The Mavericks win 106-94 over the Utah Jazz. They win the season series, Bobby, and they won a game in Utah. So that means the Mavericks
There's a lot happening.
they'll have the tiebreaker if they need it against the Utah Jazz. Win every tiebreaker that you can. We'll be back tomorrow for our pregame show that will begin at 7:30 p.m. Tip off at 8 o'clock as the Mavericks take on the Portland Trailblazers. So tune in with us at 7:30.
It's gonna be a tough one. I'm just saying that now.
Yeah, that's for 7:30 for our pregame show for a tough Mavericks game as they take on the
Let's go,
Portland
Savannah.
Trailblazers.
Sub on my other guy. If everyone in chat makes an other account right now, we get to 1,000 or 11,000 right now. Just make more accounts. Just hire some bots. How much do bot followers cost?
Kevin, can we go?
We can.
Thank you.
Again, thank you so much
We
for
didn't
joining
end
us
the
here.
show strongly, did we?
I can give a wicked review if you want.
We didn't.
Thank you
I'll
for
save that for
joining
the-
us
I'll
here
save that
on
for
the
the marathon
postgame
tomorrow
show
night.
for our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. That is our Wicked fan, Bobby Carella. That is our Mavs beat
there's
writer,
more to
Tim
my
Cato.
ability than that.
I am merely your host, Kevin Gray, here on the DLS Mavs
Super
postgame show.
Kev.
We really appreciate you. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 7:30 p.m.
Store.allcitynetwork.com.
on the DLS Mavs pregame show. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.